Hey, how's it going? Um, just thought I'd pop on. I don't know, something that's been playing on my mind lately is um, the need, not so much the need, but I'm going to use that, the need to be perfect. Um, there seems to be a lot of pressure lately to be to be perfect, or a situation has to be perfect, or an experience has to be perfect. There's this pressure. I don't know if it's social media. I don't know if it's social social pressure, social media or social pressure. Try saying that really fast when you. I don't know. Never mind. Um, I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's this thing that you've got to be better. You've got to do one better. Or things can only happen a certain way, and if they don't happen a certain way, then everything's gone wrong. Everything it's a disaster. There's this pressure that everything has to be perfect, and I've been guilty of it in the past. If something doesn't go right, then it's a disaster. But the the message here is that we can try too hard to make either ourselves, an experience, an event. We can try too hard to make that perfect, and by doing that, we miss that experience because we're trying to make it something that it's not. And it's the same with ourselves. If we're trying to be perfect, then we're missing the whole point. We're, nothing can go wrong. The way everything is happening is perfect in itself. There is no need to make it perfect. As something plays out, that is the only way it can play out. So we can try all we like to change that experience, change ourselves, change a future event to make it perfect. But isn't it perfect just being itself, just being ourselves? Isn't the experience perfect within itself without us, our human minds, trying to manipulate the situation? The exact way it's happening is the only way it can happen. When we get to grips with this, the exact way it's happening is the only way it can happen. If we can get to grips with that, we lose all of that need to control. We just go with the experience. We just go with ourselves. So we are no longer trying to control and make perfect that situation. I mean, doesn't that make it perfect? By almost surrendering to the experience, it becomes perfect in itself without us trying to make it perfect. Whatever happens is perfect. To our egos, it might not be perfect, but to consciousness, everything is unfolding exactly as it should, which makes it perfect. So to consciousness, everything is perfect. To consciousness, you are growing, you are evolving, you're learning, you're feeding this experience into consciousness. Whereas your ego is trying to make things perfect. Hoping this makes some sort of sense. So trying to make yourself perfect. Everything you've been through, whether that's a good experience, a bad experience, trauma, light, dark, ups, downs, highs, lows, all of that has made you who you are right now in this moment. So doesn't that make you perfect? Aren't you perfectly where you need to be? Aren't you, even with those good and bad experiences, if they didn't happen, you wouldn't be who you are now. And who you are now is perfect. There is no other way. If you lived a whole life that was all good experiences, no bad, how would you know? How would you learn from a bad experience? You wouldn't have any experience. You would only know goodness. If we look at this, let's look at this like you're walking down the street. I don't know, you're in a city, you're walking down the street, and you've got all these nice new buildings, and they're all perfectly straight, they're all nice and clean. So in one person's eyes, they are perfect. But then you're walking down the street, and then you come to an old building that's like, I don't know, 200, 300 years old, and it's all crooked. Maybe there's a broken window in it. And maybe the door doesn't close properly. Maybe some of the bricks or stones are crumbling slightly. Which one is more beautiful? The perfectly straight, square, steel and glass building, or the 300-year-old I don't know, cottage, church, cathedral, whatever it may be, that's a little bit wonky? Which one's more beautiful? And it comes down to personal preference. I mean, you could be walking through the city thinking these new buildings, some of them are pretty amazing. But the point is, you need both sides. One person's perfect is another person's imperfect. So nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. What you see as imperfect I said this a moment ago. What you see as imperfect in a human mind is perfect to consciousness, because it's forever growing, evolving. It's learning the highs and the lows, which is perfect. So whatever you've been through is perfect. You might not feel it, but without those low moments, you wouldn't be able to appreciate the good moments, the beautiful moments, and that is perfect. So the world is full of imperfect things, which makes it beautiful. The world is full of imperfect things, with all its flaws, with everyone's flaws, with the flaws in experiences. They are what make it beautiful. They are what make it perfect. So it's a different variation of perfect, if that makes sense. There's perfect as in, oh wow, everything's perfect, it's all exactly as it should be, or there's perfectly imperfect. So something can have these flaws which make it even more beautiful, even more perfect. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. This is just something that's been on my mind today, and I just wanted to share. I just wanted to let you know to stop trying so hard to make something perfect, to make something happen, when really it's going to play out exactly as it should do. So don't give up. Don't try too hard. Just flow. I hope that makes sense. If you're watching the replay of this, then drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll read all the comments. I'll reply. That's it for tonight. I'm going to pop up again some other time. This was first time on live on Instagram. Normally a Facebook man, but I'm trying Instagram. See how we get on here. I'll see you all soon. Bye.